Henry. It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously... They're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
A first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Sua Craven's up to make the stop. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 15 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Cook following the penalty. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
That's a strong running. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Muscles him off. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
No. Check. Patriot. Detroit.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Henry on first down. Room to run past midfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The penalty. It's Johnson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. James has got it. Complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff to Henry. And he gets it down to the 32.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw now on first down. Connects with Sanu right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want to
offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, is working really well.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go. 3-19.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Henry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
3-19.
He'll look to throw. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here we go. 3-19.
first down. Here's the run with Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the ground, Cook. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Luke Kuechly able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will take over. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. They're going to look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 11 and a first down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, They just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard. Line. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He'll get it up the middle. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On play action, they'll throw. Lets it fly into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action here on 1st down. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. So we've reached half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the 2nd half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. He's airing it out. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Over. Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught by Sanu. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it is 28-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Set! Green, 39!
Handoff comes to Cook.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice big boy.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. And got his man complete. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, here we go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
That is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Over! Detroit! Detroit!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Dixon over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The good pick up there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's airing it out for Sanu. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Gun!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit! Gone!
They'll set up to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st down for them, too.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
3 down. Hey, hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19. Watch 32.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Set. 3:19. 3:19.
They'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Try to get 1 more in here before the quarter breaks.
4 down. Here we go now. 3:19.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Set. 3:19.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off here by Jenny Smith. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10.
Set, 3-19, 3-19.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, Dorsett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First target, first catch, and a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
No,
So
check,
from the 39 now, they'll
check.
come up on a 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Completes it to Dixon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make someone miss in the open field.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll look to throw here. Incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. Third down here. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
We got 4. All right, here we go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Lions, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week.